Hello and welcome to Pop of Passion. Join me, Jax Barker, comedian and highly sensitive person, along with a guest every other week as we delve into our deepest passions, from being a plant dad to conquering insecurity with comedy. If you relish the memory of an unexpected late-night conversation with a stranger about their obscure passion, the kind where you have tears in your eyes one second and are doubled over laughing the next, this is the podcast for you. Hello and welcome to Pop of Passion. I'm Jax Barker and I'm so glad you're here. My guest today was born with one pterodactyl. You can correct me in a second hand. So a pterodactyl hand. I might be corrected. He is an actor, musician, podcaster, and overall great guy. Please welcome Michael Russell.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. This is so fascinating. I'm super excited to be here, honestly.
Awesome.
This is so great.
So is it a pterodactyl hand? Did I say that correctly?
It is technically a, let's see here, polydactyl. Polydactyl. So on my pinky here, the one that it's usually the only one I polish up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, I was born with like an extra hand. It was like a huge like string. Like it didn't fully develop.
Okay.
Regardless, they needed to kind of get rid of it when I was born.
Wow.
Right away. My granddad, Michael Patrick Howard, who I'm named after, he actually wanted me to keep it. He was trying to convince my parents that they should keep it, but
oh my gosh.
I don't think that would have been too pretty of a situation. So
no.
Yeah, but yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah. Did I already give it away?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was like at the end of the episode.
No,
Yeah,
you're
cool.
good. Yeah.
That's great.
So, Michael Patrick Russell, what is your passion?
Absolutely, the arts in general, but music, 100%.
Yeah.
Music and songwriting. Been doing it since I was a teenager, young, but I've always been passionate about it, and music in general, so much so that I recently even started my own podcast.
Yeah.
Completely on music.
That is so cool.
And songwriting and everything. And to me, it's just like it's always been one of the coolest, easiest ways for me to personally express myself, but also for other people. And I know there's so many outlets you can take when you take an artistic lane.
Yeah.
When it comes to film, acting, songwriting, so much behind the camera stuff, also even production stuff. But for me, I feel like songwriting and music and just like that specific lane is so free,
Yeah.
and it's like there's so much that you can do with it, and especially today, like seeing just like how really there's so much more artists that you can discover on streaming platforms.
For
and
sure.
Like what the internet has made accessible, as far as like just people that you never thought you would hear before. Now it's like every day I find someone new or something new, or a new artist, even in the Chicago scene here, let alone anywhere around the world. So I think it's super cool. I mean, I think back to the day, like the 90s, where it's like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, just like we had the radio. Yeah. I was listening to B96.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's so cool how I feel like the music industry as a whole is getting bigger,
For sure.
and just easier to access unknown artists and new artists, upcoming artists.
Yeah.
And great, So songwriting, it's always been my passion, but I've always also liked to songwrite with other people and other musicians. And so kind of when I started Rawk Radio, that podcast that I it was like I wanted to just write with other people, and write with friends, and then also guests. And other like-minded artists in the community.
That's so cool. So what's your process look like? Are you a paper and pen kind of guy? Are you on the computer? Do you start with the music or do you start with the lyrics, that kind of stuff?
So I very much was a paper and pen person for quite some time. Recently and years leading up, like I've kind of more so moved to the phone.
Yeah.
Just because like it's easy to use your computer to keep notes and side notes and everything, but also one of my my most favorite way to create is kind of stream of conscious, where I will film or put a voice memo on, or even like a camera, and just free flow,
that is so
and
cool.
kind of just create in the moment. And it's excellent that we have smartphones, but also like back in the day, I'd just use a camera or whatever to just hit record and see whatever comes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to write a song?
Everything. But obviously it could be anything from day-to-day activity, could be something maybe in your life, like actually in your own life, or it could be very much something outside of you, so it's so vast, it's always an endless amount of options when it comes to the actual process of songwriting, which is why I kind of like I feel that at any given moment, we all humans, all the creative process itself, you're always, if you're willing, can tap into that space of, pure imagination and just allowing your mind to open up, and so that's, I think, why I like the stream of conscious and putting a camera on and kind of just letting myself be there in the moment, or be there with other musicians and create an improv, because you really are in that moment. And we all as individuals here on this planet like go through so much, and being in that moment, it really kind of almost comes like naturally. Like
I call it like
so.
the flow.
The flow, that's it. It totally is like the flow. Totally, I love that.
And I'm like, oh, that idea just appeared between my ears.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's so cool that like you seem undaunted by a blank page, whereas like I see a blank page and I'm like, oh, I have to write this many jokes and this many punchlines or this many pages of my pilot. And it's like, it seems like you don't have that attitude, and I wonder where that comes from.
I think it's exciting, I sometimes, like, if I do have a set number, or like if I'm trying to write a specific amount of songs or something, it could be a different story. But to me, it's always as exciting just to get started,
Yeah.
And I know that you are you still doing improv, right? And
I'm like semi-retired from improv just because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've done the whole scene, so we'll see. Maybe I'll make a return one day.
Yeah.
But I love improv. I love the idea of improv.
Yeah.
It's just hard to do
you were
it
great.
Right now. Oh,
thank you. You were really great. I was looking back at some videos I could find like the other night just for fun, and was showing some of my bandmates as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So let me know if you ever do post up again.
Yeah.
In some shows. I know it was it definitely very much got me through some days at the old grocery store, talking like seeing what you were doing and what you were up to as far as like shows and improv. It's always inspired by like you always, putting your best effort to get out there and work creatively.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think that's why we got along when we worked together, is because we were both, these creative souls working at a grocery store, and it's like you're stacking fruit and you got to talk about something. And we already had a connection, so it was like so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of creative people in the old grocery store
For
unit,
sure.
you know?
Yeah.
So definitely blessed on that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm happy that there were so many like-minded artists at the time, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Those were fun conversations. Also happy that we are where we are now, moving forward.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It makes the days go by faster.
Yeah.
And I bet like when you're writing, songwriting, do you find that time moves faster when you're in that flow?
I almost feel like time stops, you know?
Cool.
It's definitely like the peaceful, like almost meditation to me, you know? So like even, showing up to that blank page or showing up to that room of musicians that you're just going to create something. And that time of very much, I love that feeling of like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with my intuition and
love it.
Let that magic happen, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So are you working on anything now that you're excited about, like songwriting-wise?
Absolutely. I this year definitely have been songwriting more than ever. Just because with starting Rawk Radio, the intention was to have a guest on the podcast every week and create a song with them.
Yeah.
Which has been going very well. I'm very happy with the process and everything. When I started that project, the intention was just to kind of help me get organized more. I was like, I need something just to kind of always have, like just at least, you know, every week, you know?
I mean, we're Geminis for the listeners. Like, we're both Geminis, so we kind of need to be contained in our creative endeavors. Yeah.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said that better.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very true. So I needed that, you know, at least one thing consistent for the week. And ever since I've done it, like, I've definitely noticed that I myself want to write outside of it even more, like put in work, a little bit of work each day, you know, to just, you know, songwrite and just kind of sit there with my guitar, just like, you know. And so because of that, yes, it has actually brought in like a lot of life to my outside projects, you know. So like at the moment I have a rock band called Thematic here in Chicago.
Yes.
There's a fun, like kind of very fun loving hip hop group with my buddy Tavi out in New York City called the Bag Boys. Shout out to the Bag Boys. Shout out to all my boys out in NYC. And then, you know, there's I do this other rock thing called Bloom, spelled BLUOM, just kind of like my own personal songwriting, just for fun, you know. And so those have definitely kind of fueled like they've been more consistently being worked on. But overall, once I started this podcast, I'm trying to get better at just writing more material myself.
Right.
But also seeing what I can do to help other musicians, you know, and like showing them how I go through the process, or even what I can do with my skills to create something and make something happen for anyone in the scene. And I know it's been hard with shows not being open and things not really going on, but doing the best I can with, you know.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome because you're so young, but you've done so much. And you have so much experience that you are being so kind and sharing that with other people. And I think that's just like a testament to like the way you were brought up, and like also the person you were born. Do you know what I mean? Like, you were born like this special person and you're sharing your gifts, and I think that's the most special thing you can do. But also, like, I think you had your creativity, it was like cultivated by these like parents who were like supportive.
Absolutely.
And like, I have a similar experience, and I think that's like, not many people have that, and I think we're both very lucky. Yeah,
I have noticed that. Absolutely. Shout out to Mom and Dad, Myra and Tom right now. All love. I was so fortunate and very grateful to be raised in a home where it was kind of like you should follow your passion. You should go out there and see what you're interested in, find what you love, and a shout out to my sister. She just this last year, Sarah Russell, opened up her own dog grooming shop called The Friendly Paws.
Love it.
Out in Park Ridge, or now it's in Edison Park, right across from the Dairy Queen. And, you know, it's just so cool to see her passion and dream come to life.
Yeah.
And then also same with my sister, you know, like she followed her passion in teaching, and Tommy just moved out to Roscoe Village.
Hell yeah.
And he's songwriting. He's got his Project Joy Friend that's just been getting out there, getting buzz, I think he's got some shows in the works, and just overall good stuff. It's I'm humbled and happy to see that they all kind of, you know, followed what they loved, you know, and that was because of, you know, my parents. So I was very blessed and fortunate to have that support, and that's why I think I like and I would like to do that for other artists, you know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think there's something to be said. I think someone should start like a drinking game, because every time I mention that I'm Irish, like, you guys would be blitzed. But I think there's something to be said about like that strong like Irish American work ethic. Yeah. That I know like your family comes from.
Absolutely.
And it's apparent in you and all your siblings. Mm-hmm. You know, everyone's doing great, so it's just amazing. Mm-hmm. I did have a question that I didn't plan on asking, but I'm just really curious. Have you ever seen the movie Music and Lyrics with Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore? Because I just watched it, and it's like so good.
You know what? I actually haven't. I have not seen that one.
Okay, well
I need to watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna order the DVD at the Park Ridge Library, and I'll get it too. But yeah.
What about it though? Like,
it's just interesting because like he is he's like a older pop star, and then she just comes to water his plants, and he has to write a new song for this young pop star in like a week. And then he has another songwriter there, and she just starts rhyming, and she doesn't even realize she's rhyming while he's playing the piano. And then they end up like working together.
Oh, that's so cool.
Naturally, they fall in love. Like, no spoilers. Like, it's a rom-com, of course. But I just found it really interesting because they had this conversation about like which is better, the music or the lyrics, and she thinks it's the lyrics, and he says it's the music, and I think it's like the combination.
Absolutely.
You know?
It is the combination. It takes everyone, you know, to make it happen.
For sure.
Even, you know, working with musicians, like the bass, the guitar, the piano, the synth, it all, you need it all, you know?
Right.
And so that's great. I'm going to check that movie out.
Please do.
It's awesome. It sounds good.
Well, I think on that sentiment, you need it all. I'm going to ask you a pop pondering, which is a question that has the word pop in it.
Okay.
So Pacific Ocean Park, also known as POP, is an amusement park. What is your go-to ride at an amusement park?
The tallest one.
Absolutely.
With the biggest drop.
I could see that for you, yep. Did you grow up going to Kittyland?
I did.
Cool, yeah.
I have memories of that. That was like the big adventure with me and the cousins.
Yeah, we did that too. My cousins, like right before we go back to school, we'd all go to Kittyland. Mm-hmm. And I remember once I don't remember what it was. I was filming a commercial at Kittyland for like maybe an insurance company, and I was on the bumper cars. I got whiplash. It was a whole thing. I didn't know what whiplash was. I've talked about it in therapy within the last year because it was traumatic. But Kittyland. Shout out to Kittyland. The Little Dipper is now at Six Flags Great America.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went on it with my little cousins, and it was just like really cool to be like going on this ride that like my parents went on when they were kids, and now I'm going on it with the next generation. Like, there's something special about that.
That is special.
Yeah.
Very cool. Where is it still around?
No, Kittyland so Kittyland closed. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Moment of silence.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's time to do our passion plugs. So I'm going to go first, and then I'll let you go next.
Absolutely.
So my passion plug today is I wanted to plug Lauren Underwood. She is a congresswoman in Illinois. She is a nurse, and she's running against this Oberweis guy. She's like the number one target of the GOP this year and in previous years. And I just want people to know, if you're in the Chicagoland area, you're close enough to get involved, to get out and canvas or donate monetarily if you're able. So you can find information about Lauren Underwood in the show notes, and I'll pass it over to Mike.
That's cool. Very cool. Actually, my Passion Pop plugin is this website called Bandwith Chicago .net. Bandwith Chicago, the organization itself, actually is like, it helps musicians, artists, or even like kids in the community actively get a shot of creating and working with other musicians. So stationed out of the East Garfield Park, and some other like underserved communities. They work with kids and young kids, and it's like a whole process where they get them together and work once a week as like a full band and like teach them like how to play instruments.
Love it.
And even like how to write songs. They even do like performing and stuff.
Yeah.
Super cool little project. And so yeah, shout out to Bandwith Chicago.
Awesome. You guys can
definitely
find
check it out.
that information in the show notes and on social media. Well, did you play any instruments as a kid?
We had to learn, like, I think it was the flute.
What was that called?
Or no, it was the other one.
The recorder.
The recorder. Oh my gosh.
Did you have Mrs. Wilson?
I might have. Did you have the poofy hair?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, maybe.
She was at a bunch of the Sparkridge schools, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But anyhow, yes, the recorder. I was not good.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like I was okay. My attention span wasn't the best when I was.
I feel that.
I think I thought I was kind of playing it, but I don't know how much attention I was like paying attention I was. It's all right. But eventually I just picked up the guitar at like 12.
Wow,
like 12,
yeah.
13, and then I kind of was like self-taught.
Yeah.
But I do wish I would have started earlier. So that's why it's like I think it's huge. I think it's great for all kids, every kid, to be able to have the opportunity to start and pick up an instrument when they if they would like to, but also the opportunity to follow that passion, you know, at a young age, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely wish I would have got involved sooner. So
yeah, well, if you were born in a different Irish family in Park Ridge, you would have been given a violin on your third birthday, as all the O'Malley children were. Shout out to my grandparents. And I remember, I don't remember, but my mom likes to tell the story. When I got my violin on my third birthday, my birthdays are on Memorial Day, and there's always a big festival at Gaelic Park on Memorial Day. And I was in my car seat, because that's how little I was, and I held my violin case on the car seat the whole way to Gaelic Park, which is like a 45-minute drive.
yeah.
And I wanted to bring it into the festival with me, and my mom was like, no, like, you can't do that. But I got into the Betty Haig Academy with like the Suzuki method, and like I'm not a Suzuki method. I have many cousins who thrived with the Suzuki method. It's very rigid. I'm more, I have an ADHD brain. I'm a Gemini. Like, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Then I picked up the cello in 4th grade, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good. Do you still ever play?
The last time I played the cello was on a recording for my uncle's band, The Safes.
Yes, oh, dude. Oh,
yeah,
I love
classic
that. I love that
Chicago
band. Yeah, when you showed me them.
So
and also, shout out to The Hustle.
Yeah, of course. They did the theme song. Yes.
It's so good. I love it. Yeah.
So it was like, I think there were over 20 family members on their latest record. And it was released on my grandparents' anniversary, which is Halloween. And their wedding pictures on the cover. So that was really cool to get a chance to play my cello. But also, if anyone's looking to buy a 3/4 size cello in the Chicago area, please DM me, because my mom yells at me every time she sees it in the basement. So
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Still in good condition?
Oh, yeah, mint condition.
That's awesome. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, when, if you don't mind me asking, when did this kind of all come together for you? Or when did you get the idea?
I feel like you're messing with me because I got the idea because it was like a Wednesday and I went to go get lunch at Trader Joe's and you were asking me where I was going to post my podcast, like what method was I going to post? And at this point, I didn't have a podcast and I didn't have an idea of a podcast.
Oh
and
my
you,
gosh.
I think you're like a shaman or something.
I do. I do that. I do tend to do that. I do tend to like say things from the collective, like creative conscious and kind of bring it into intuition.
And it like scared me because I was like, oh my God, I was drunk and I said I want to have a podcast. And I don't think that's true. But you know, my mind, I'm always like, oh, it's my fault. And then, like, literally...
I think we might have had a few, like, at a party or something, had, like, a funny conversation about maybe possibly doing it.
Yeah.
And then I think...
But you were, like, so sure. You're like, okay, so, like, how do you post your episodes? And I was like, I don't have a podcast. I don't have episodes. I don't know. I don't even have an idea. And then 2 days later, my brother was like, hey, so I was just thinking, you know, you have Pop-Up Passion. You can't really do shows with COVID, and you should turn that into a podcast.
Ooh.
And then a week later, I emailed Christine a proposal. The next day, it was Easter, and she got back to me. I freaked out, and, like, it was bad. I, like, freaked out. And then the next day was Monday, and I booked 4 guests. And I was like, okay, here we go. And now here we are, and we're on episode 9. So,
that is so cool.
So it's all because of you.
That's awesome. I don't know if I could take all that credit, but I'm so happy that
you planted the seed.
I kind of riffed off that way in that moment and kind of just that's so cool. Super cool. And when did the first like episode take off, or when did you guys do it?
Yeah, so then it was like the week after Easter, so it was like the 15th of April or something around there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who was your first guest?
Gregory from Trader Joe's.
Really?
Yes.
The Mop Top?
Yep.
Shout out to Mop Top. Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he bring one of his books?
He didn't bring a book, but he plugged a book.
Cool.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
great. How's he doing?
Good.
Cool. Yeah, I talk to him from time to time. I'll have to catch up with him.
Yeah, you can check out his episode on May 26th. By the time your episode comes out, that will already be out. But yeah. So
That's
Michael
great.
Russell, thank you so much.
Absolutely, Jax.
Awesome.
Anytime, I would love to come back, and I'm very much looking forward to having you on Rawk Radio.
I know, I can't wait. I'm excited.
It's going to be so much fun. Yes.
So thank you all for listening to Pop-Up Passion, produced by Christine Ferreira at the Lincoln Lodge. Please follow the show on social media at Pop-Up Passion and at popuppassionpodcast.com. I'm Jax Barker. Go out and be the light, living your passion.